Hey everyone, okay, I wanted to make a video about my journey with CISSP. Now, my journey has been a long journey. It, started back in 2018 when I was asked by my school to say, hey, Russ, can you go get the CISSP exam? We are thinking about implementing it. All right, sure. Now, I never heard of the exam. I didn't know anything about it. I was just finishing up from what I remember. I was just finishing up my CCNA CyberOps. I know that Cisco has recently changed the name of that certification, but again, I was used to break and fix certifications. The CompTIA Triad, which is our A Plus, Network Plus, Security Plus, my CCNA CyberOps. So I just finished up, CyberOps, and then I dove into a little bit of CISSP. Again, I didn't know anything about it. The school sent me, as you can see here, the official study guide. I took a look at this. It is let's see here, a 2-inch thick book. I did measure it out, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, what did I just get myself into? This is awfully thick, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. With this book also came the practice guide, right, which is pretty cool. And they also sent me the lovely Common Book of Knowledge. Look at this mess, right? And I'm thinking to myself, what am I supposed to do with this? I mean, this thing is over 1,000 pages. Look at this. I found something in here, and I don't know what to do with all this. So I decided to do what I normally do and get the testing objectives. Now, again, I'm used to break and fix. Here's the situation. This is how you fix it. That's it, right? So I get the testing objectives, and I start breaking down the objectives the way that I normally did, with exams, and I scheduled the exam several months out, thinking, okay, I got this. This is all very familiar. After just going through Security Plus, CyberOps, so all these objectives seem pretty straightforward. So I go to the testing exam in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina, and they sit me in there, and I have to say, after 3 hours and 150 questions, I felt like I got hit by a bus. I don't know what just happened, but I walked out of there. I'm like, wow, this exam is nothing like what I am used to. So I go back to the drawing board again. I went through the old Sybex book here, and again, I didn't read it cover to cover just because it's long. It's gonna take a long time. So I again, went over the objectives, all this, and 6 months later, I took the exam again. This time I took it. I wasn't feeling so well. Same exact result, 150 questions, minutes left, and disappointment across the board. So I decided to take a break since this exam was, $700 a pop. School's paying for it, which is great. But I don't want to waste anybody's money here. And I knew there was something different about this exam, something definitely different about this exam. So I took a break and I went for my CompTIA CISA Plus first. I got that on the second try. Then after CISA Plus, I decided I wanted to tackle CASP. So I have to say that was a hard exam. So it took me, a while. Again, 2019, 2020 comes along, and while doing CASP, I also tackled a couple of little certifications in cloud and this and that. But it wasn't really until this year that I decided, really around Christmas 2020, I'm like, okay, after going through all those other certifications and, picking up the additional knowledge, just getting myself ready for this exam, I decided to dive into CISSP again. Now, I told myself, I told my employer, hey, this is the last time that I'm going to do this. I don't want to do it again, just because it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time. And I took a completely different approach. I did some research. And this is what I did. This is what I did to pass this certification on my third try. Okay, first of all, yes, the official study guide. I love this book. This book is fantastic. And when I started to do research and join groups, and I'm going to tell you about one particular group in a second. But I did not read this book cover to cover. I did not do it because I fall asleep easily. Ever since I got eye surgery back in 2007, stuff like this makes my eyes very dry and heavy, and it's hard for me to read, things that are long, right? So I did not read this cover to cover. It was a reference to me, as well as the lovely Common Book of Knowledge. Adam Gordon himself said, do not read this book cover to cover. This is just a reference guide. It's a great reference guide, but yes, it is a reference guide. And I used it a little bit just to, cross-check a couple things, but that's as far as I went with the Common Book of Knowledge. Now, back in I'm going to kick it back to 2018 because I knew I needed help with this exam. I knew I needed some help with this exam, and I started a Facebook group called Cybersecurity Lounge back in 2018. It is still going today. Okay, as you can see here, it is still going today. It is a Facebook group. It started off as a one member that was me, and it gradually grew and grew and grew. Today we are at over 34,000 members and growing every single day. I'm the only administrator. It is a very clean group, but this group has been a tremendous help because I was starting to get people from all around the world in this group, folks that held the CISSP certification. I mean, I met a lot of great connections, and definitely helped me out, and got me more in the know and what to expect with this exam. So if you are on Facebook and you want to join a very strong group, it's called Cybersecurity Lounge. Again, I'm the only administrator there. It is extremely clean. Anybody that spams, they get kicked out instantly. Come join. It's a lot of fun. All right, back to the journey. So what did I do here? So yes, the first thing was the Sybex, and I just showed you my copy of it. You can pick it up here on Amazon. I do highly recommend it. It is great. Again, I did use that as a reference. I also used the Sean Harris's All-in-One series. Great book. I really, really enjoyed this. Again, used as a reference. I did not read it cover to cover. It is good stuff. I have the PDF version of it. I don't have the real copy, the hard copy of it. I wish I did. I like to have that stuff, but then again, I don't have the room for all these books. But definitely the All-in-One series, really, really cool. And, you can take a look here, hardcover, and other different formats. But I really like this book. Because it's again clean, it gets to the point. It is a little bit long-winded compared, just like the Sybex book, but very good stuff. So so far I used the official study guide. I used the All-in-One series by Sean Harris, very, very good. I also liked this as well. Now this is a separate, just like the Sybex, the All-in-One has its own separate testing guide here, or testing book rather. These questions are a little bit more advanced compared to this book here, because this book here, okay, is more of a knowledge check than anything. The questions in the official practice guide here, they're not like the ones that are on the exam. Maybe a couple here or there, but for the most part, this is a knowledge check. Okay, and this knowledge check here is to drive you and to guide you to what domains you need to go back and review and to reteach yourself. Okay, so you can tell. I mean, I went through basically every question in this book, almost every question, and something that I got wrong, I then went back to the all-in, not the all-in one, but I went back to the original book here, the Sybex book, and I took a look at what I got wrong. So again, I'm using the books as references, as guides to drive me to knowing these domains. Okay, so again, I do highly recommend now the all-in-one series practice book, because those questions are a little bit more advanced. They're a little bit more advanced, a little bit closer to the actual exam, a little bit more advanced. So I do highly recommend this book. Okay, I do highly recommend it. Next on the agenda is Boston practice exams. Now, this is pretty cool because you get a separate download as far as an application. You get hundreds and hundreds of questions. I've done them all. I've done them all at least twice. Boston's really good. Weighs a little bit on the technical side, which is okay. But really, the structure of the questions similar to the exam in some way. Not every question, but again, really good stuff, and they give very good explanations. Now, if you join Cybersecurity Lounge, there's a link there where you get 15% off all of Boston's digital content. I worked that out with them. Okay, so if you're interested, I do highly recommend it. I mean, I used their practice exams, and it was a huge help to pass this exam, to pass the CISSP exam. So that was something else that I used. Next on the list, Pocket Prep. This may look a little dark to you. Let's see if I can make it a little bit better, but I don't think I can. Pocket Prep. Okay, I purchased it for CISSP, 800 questions. I did them all twice. This is really cool. I really like this, and I tell you why. Because the explanations come directly from the official study guide, Sybex, and they tell you, and also the all-in-one series. So they tell you exactly what the explanation is for the question that you got right, and why the other choices are wrong. But it also tells you the exact page number in the book of both the all-in-one series and the Sybex as to where to find that question and the explanation. Really, really cool stuff. I did the Pocket Prep questions several times. I really, really enjoyed it, and that is good stuff there. Okay, next on the list, and I really enjoyed this book, CISSP CISSP for Dummies. I'm sitting there stumbling over my words. Excellent reference. I got to tell you, it's clean. It gets to the point. It makes things so clean. I mean, it really makes the concepts clear. And again, with this exam, it's not about knowing the terms and the definitions. I mean, that's important, yes, but you have to know the flow of this exam. You have to know why things happen. All right, yeah, that's the thing, because each question that you come across is not going to be, okay, this is from domain 5, 5.1, bam. No, your question is going to span across several different domains from the common, from the CBK. So you have to know the flow. You have to know why we do things. You have to know, if you start from A, you get to B, you get to C, so forth and so on. You just have to know the flow. And I learned that after the second time, failing this exam. This is not, again, I said it, it's not a break and fix exam. It's all about flow. It's all about the process. Our job on this exam, we're a IT manager, we're a CISO, we're there to gather information and then present it to senior management. That's really what it comes down to, and that's what I learned. I mean, every question that I had of my 150 questions with minutes left, every thought that I had is, how does it affect the CIA triad? And what's the flow? Okay, and what information am I gathering to present to senior leadership to get the final call, right? So CISSP for Dummies, what an awesome book this is. I know a lot of people out there really enjoyed the 11th hour. I have the 11th hour. I do have it. I didn't like it. I like this way better. I really enjoyed CISSP for Dummies way better than the 11th hour. The 11th hour is also dated too, but I do have it. I was going through it. I'm like, I'm not digging it so much until I came across the Dummy series, and like, it's so much better. All right, so I do highly recommend CISSP for Dummies, and it is, I believe this is an official study guide from, that ISE Squared approved. So keep that in mind. Okay, so now you're wondering, well, how did I learn all this stuff? But I didn't read the book cover to cover like a lot of folks out there did, and you know what? I give them all the credit in the world. I just couldn't do it. I mean, this is a lot to read cover to cover, and some folks I even read. Oh, I read the Sybex book cover to cover twice. How did you do that? How did you have the time to do that? No. So this is what I did. Okay, so next I moved over to. I came across Thor Peterson's CISSP course. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed Thor's stories. Thor gets right to the point. I have spoken to Thor so many times. He's part of my cybersecurity lounge group, and I do work with him from time to time to do promotional stuff in the group. Thor is awesome. Really great stuff. I highly recommend purchasing Thor's course and listening to his course. I listen to Thor every morning. Every morning while I have breakfast, Thor is having breakfast with me. And I will listen to Thor again over and over again. Again, keep in mind, we're in April. I really dove into this journey starting in December. So I had months there. Right, so I was with Thor. Thor was with me, day in, day out, at the gym, having breakfast, late at night, early in the morning. And I'll get more into some of the sacrifices that I made, but Thor is really good stuff. So check out ThorTeaches.com and purchase Thor's course if you can, and if you're interested. All right, but I do recommend it. Next on my list of stuff, of resources, is Kelly Handrahan. Kelly is awesome. Now, she works for cybertrain.it. I really like Kelly's course. Now, it's funny because when you listen to Thor and you listen to Kelly, they're saying a lot of the same things. So I know that since Thor is saying it, Kelly's saying it, it's the way that they're saying it, it's the flow, it's the process. Okay, I know I'm onto something here. So I listened to Kelly at least 3 or 4 times in her entire course. I'll be out there mowing the lawn, listen to Kelly. I'll be at the gym, listen to Kelly. I'll be in the car. I put the MP3s in the car. I'm driving. I'm listening to Kelly. I'm driving to Home Depot. I got Kelly on. I mean, I drove to Home Depot one day and I was able to listen to all of Domain 3 because it was traffic lights, and this and that. But always doing something. I'm always doing something with CISSP. I was every single day, every waking moment that I could, CISSP. So I do highly recommend Thor. I highly recommend Kelly. Okay, now Kelly also, this was a big help, and I listened to this several times. Even my exam was at noon, and I got there early. And I listened to Kelly again, and she gives 10 reasons why you will pass the CISSP exam. I like that because there are videos out there on YouTube, and they'll tell you why you got to fail it. It's a bit negative, all right? So I went with Kelly again. She gives you 10 reasons why, and you need to listen to the 10 reasons why you will pass the CISSP exam, and she is dead on correct why you're going to pass it. You have to have the right mindset. You have to have the mindset. If you're going to go in there, if you're one of these look, you could be a real technical person. You know how to configure a firewall blindfold. Me, I don't. You will fail this exam. You don't fix problems. You fix the process. Kelly teaches you that. Thor teaches you that. Adam Gordon teaches you that. These books, they don't really teach you that. These books, I found that these books, they give you the knowledge, but it's missing the flow. And keep that in mind. All right, check out Kelly's video here. Trust me when I tell you, it is fantastic stuff. All right, next up. Okay, next up. This was great. I listened to this so many times. Destination certification, Rob Witcher's mind maps. Oh wow! So after going through your books, after going through the your video content, your audio content, then you're going to hit up Rob Witcher and listen to his mind maps over and over and over. I must have listened to these things 100 times. Okay, I have Rob in my mind. I got the violins playing, from his theme music. Excellent stuff. And again, he teaches you stuff. He reminds you of stuff, because that's what these mind maps are. It's there just to connect all the pieces, and he does. He connects them, and he not only does he focus on what things are, but he focuses on the flow. He focuses on the flow in the process. Destination certification. Rob also has a app out there. I think I forget how much it was, $7-8 maybe. You could check it out in the App Store. He has flashcards, and I think it pretty much has every single word in the CISSP Common Book of Knowledge as far as terms. But excellent stuff. I do recommend you getting the flashcards or making your own, whichever works for you. Adam Gordon. Let's talk about Adam Gordon now. Adam Gordon is awesome. He is definitely one of my favorites out there in the industry. I heard of Adam Gordon when I first started working with CISSP back in 2018, and I came across IT Pro TV. And the school had a subscription. Somebody had a subscription, and I logged in and started watching and listening to Adam with CISSP, and then I realized Adam's got a tremendous amount of certifications, and he's so well known and so well respected in the industry. But Adam is he gave a boot camp, and I'll get into where I found that boot camp. He gave a free boot camp and went over all the domains, and it was twice a week for 8 weeks. I'm sorry, twice a week for 8 weeks. That's correct, Russ. And it was fantastic. Great networking. I mean, you speak with people in the chat from, all around the world. And it was great stuff. So definitely check out IT Pro TV. And I'm going to tell you where to find Adam, because he's going to, matter of fact, he's got a boot camp going on right now. And I'll get to that in a moment. LinkedIn, this is coming out a little dark, but LinkedIn has videos. Somebody in my Cybersecurity Lounge Facebook group had passed the CISSP exam, and then I asked, hey, I forget the gentleman's name. I said, hey, what did you use? And he's like, yada, of course, everybody mentions the official study book, of course, the practice book, of course, right? Everyone mentions that, but he also mentioned LinkedIn videos. I didn't even know LinkedIn had courseware. I wasn't even aware of it. So I went to go check it out. Free for 30 days. Okay. And I was Mike Chappelle. Is that his name? I think that's his name. I have his notes here. Anyway, he's an author of one of these books. Yes, right here. He's the author. He is one of the authors of the official study guide. I knew it sounded familiar. I believe it's Mike Chappelle that did the LinkedIn videos for CISSP. It was I liked it. It is not. It's not going to be. I can't say it would be my number one priority. Like, it wouldn't take precedent over Thor or Kelly or Adam. But I really liked it because because I did it on the go. You can download the app, of course, and I just listen to it, and it's again, I'm cross-checking between Mike and Adam and Thor and Kelly. You're hearing the same thing over and over, which is great, but you're hearing it from a different perspective. All right, so good stuff. Check it out. I know it looks dark here on the screen. I'm not sure why, but you get the point. LinkedIn Learning, check it out. Free for 30 days. If you have a LinkedIn profile, I believe it's the same credentials, and you can browse. And I know that they had recently updated the videos to for the 2021 change for the CISSP exam. So check that out. Okay, I showed you Cybersecurity Lounge, my group. Now let's talk about this one here. Now, Discord. For those of you that are on Discord, you need to join Certification Station. Okay, you need to join Certification Station. So I came across Certification Station. Trying to see here. Let me get back here. Actually, towards the end of my journey, towards a little bit towards the end, maybe like a month out, I came across a YouTube video, and this person mentioned one of their resources, and they said, you need to be part of a community of CISSPs, and this person was 100% correct. Even though my Facebook group has people in there, but my group covers just covers many certifications. Certification Station has many different servers. They do have a CISSP server, and Adam Gordon is in here, and he does promote his boot camps for CISSP and for other certifications. That's where I found this, and that's where I found Adam, and his boot camp was fantastic. He also gives you all his notes, which, speaking of, now his notes are unbelievable. Okay, his notes are unbelievable. It is all there. It's everything that you need. Okay, his notes can take this book, this 2-inch book, and chop it in half. Okay, you have to remember, these books are written by folks that are paid. They have to write probably X amount of words and all that other stuff, whatever's in their contract. But Adam Gordon's notes, they are here. I believe it's in the Classroom 1 server. You can download. But one thing that I also did was, this is my CISSP notebook, okay, and I took notes from Adam's notes. Okay, I took notes from Adam's notes, and I just started writing things out, looking things up, and I have to say, all his stuff is there. So handwritten notes, I recommend you definitely do the handwritten notes. And I did it. I just did write things over and over until I try to understand it better. And, you have to take notes, so either you take notes out of the official study book or the, all the 1 series. I took notes from Adam's notes. And I told Adam that. I said, Adam, your notes were fantastic. I took notes from your notes. And so this is my CISSP notebook. It goes on, as you can see, and that's good. Also, I think I downloaded this. I'm trying to remember. It does say Cert Mike, so I may have gotten this little last-minute, review, which I was reading in the car just prior to my exam, and it should, it's all good stuff. So definitely check that out. Okay. So it's just some tips here. Okay. First, like I mentioned, it's not a break and fix exam. This exam is about process. You are gathering information. You are an IT manager. You're not there to fix a problem. When was the last time that a CISO ran to the data center to go reboot a server or swap out a hard drive or investigate some type of incident? I don't think so. Okay, you're there to gather information, and you're there to present that information to senior leadership. Next, know your stuff. If you want to read the book cover to cover, read the book. Get involved. You have to get involved. That is good stuff there. And I mean, that's really about it. It's just a matter of having the right mindset. You have to have the right mindset for this exam. And I learned that later on. I didn't know. I was too busy, trying to fix problems. No, we're trying to fix the process. And that's the CISSP exam. So that is my journey. I just wanted to share all my resources with you, things that I did. Okay. But, ultimately, my recommendation, these books, do not lose them. It's a great reference, and you'll always be looking back. Anyway, so that's all I have for you. I hope this video was helpful, and best of luck in your studies. And come join me on Certification Station. Come join me on Cybersecurity Lounge, and let's share your celebration. All right. Until then, have a nice night. Thank you.